Hello, and welcome to Seeking Heaven, the Near-Death Experience and Other Phenomena. I'm your host, Tamara Calder Richardson, a multiple near-death experiencer and spiritually transformative experiencer, evidential medium, and Christ channeler. And thank you for being a part of our live chat Friday. If you haven't subscribe, hit the bell so you can get all the alerts. We have at least 2 episodes. Phenomenal guests. I handpick each one out to make sure that they have a beautiful, enlightening spiritual story or lessons to share. And so I'm really excited about tonight's guest. So just FYI, if you want to join and be a member of my group, I have some awesome perks. Check that out. Thank you for watching. And I'm going to bring in our guest. So tonight you have been watching, hopefully, if you haven't watched it, Steven Weber's spiritual experience, his story that he tells in a 2-part, where it started way before his tragic near-death experience with a motorcycle accident, being T-boned by a truck, way before that, where he actually had he had a miss. It almost hit him, but a limo that hit not him. He kind of swerved and went out of the way, but another car. And it ended up being something that went on that he was pulled into his life to actually help out with on the stand and do his civic duty. So he did. And he, please watch both of those and his spiritual awakening. And this is kind of the 3rd part of his spiritual. This is the good part, the really good part. And this is where he was at. I can't wait to hear this. I'm so excited. Okay. So Steven Weber and Katherine Plant, they're co-authors of this book called The Place Between Here and There. While Steven was in the hospital, this horrible, horrendous motorcycle accident, and he was all messed up. I mean, you can see some of the x-rays. He was a mess. He had this lovely, lovely woman that was praying for him, I believe, at the same time every day. And in spirit, he could hear this woman praying. And when he got out, he realized who it was and contacted him. Or she contacted him. They'll tell the story. And here they are together as a partner and a couple. What a love story. And someone said today they should be in Lifetime. So I'm going to bring on is Steven Weber, but we're going to call each other Steve, and they call me Tammy, so that's cool. And
Tammy, you're very kind.
You're welcome. And then I'm going to bring on Katherine, which is Kathie. Yay! So I am so excited to see you both. And this story, what a love story. I mean, this is really from the soul. Like you had this, I mean, I want to hear from Kathie's point of view, but I don't know who contacted who, but the fact that you recognize it was the woman who was one of the mothers that was praying for you. If you could, I would like to start from there, and I want to get Kathie's point of view. Like, did anything spiritual on her end? Was she getting any messages? I know you're a couple now, and I just think it's like the most love story ever. So
Go ahead.
You jump in, or whoever wants to jump in first.
I'll start. I know you, Steve. Do you want to speak, Steve?
No, I was just going to say that yeah, Kat, if you could pick up right at the point when you received the text and just put that into context, that would be great, because I love hearing it.
Okay, well, I'll just tell you that I always have been a spiritual person, unlike Steven. So I always felt connections to saints and angels. And once my mother and my brother died, and that was so devastating for me, I read every spiritual book on near-death, afterlife experiences. And I knew that from those readings that when someone passes, they're in spirit, but when someone is in a coma, they're also in spirit, because their spirit leaves their body while their physical body is here. So I knew at that time I could connect with Steve. And when I heard that he had been in the accident, and being just a mom friend and not family, I couldn't go to the ICU. So I in my head would say, Steve, I want you to know that we need you to come back. The community, I mean, he was such an important person in the community, being on the school board and in local politics, being in all the local chamber of commerce. Like, he was like almost a mayor, and everyone loves Steve.
Almost a mayor. That's so cute.
It's very easy to be famous in a small town. It is true.
And he was very famous. No. So I said, I can't be in the hospital room, Steve, but I'm going to pray with you. So pretend I'm in there holding your hand, and I'm going to do this every day. And we're going to pray to St. Jude, who is the patron saint of helpless and hopeless causes. And in this moment, Steve was very helpless. I mean, his cousin called me and said that he had been in that accident. They didn't expect him to live 12 hours. So pray. So that's what I did. And I said, Steve, I'm in the hospital room with you. I'm holding your hand and was saying the novena to St. Jude. And I said, I'm going to do this every day. And I did, because I was devastated. I thought, how could this person that's so special leave the earth? Like, it didn't make sense to me. He meant so much to so many people. And so I did that every day. And a week went by, nothing. 2 weeks go by, and his cousin Lisa, who's a friend of mine, would keep giving me updates and say that it was getting dire. The doctor said he might not pull out. And if he does, he could have a brain injury. He could be paraplegic, quadriplegic. I mean, the extensive injuries. So I prayed even more. I was calling on St. Michael now and Mary and whoever could listen, St. Luke, the patron saint of surgeons, just, anybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, I was even asking my mother and my brother, anyone in spirit to help. But I did this every day. And then 3 weeks later, I get a text at 11 o'clock at night. And it was said, "Hi, Kath, it's Steve. I'm okay. I want to thank you for visiting me when I was out, if you know what I mean." And of course I know what he meant. I didn't know he would know what I meant.
Out.
And then I said, "You mean you know?" And he said, "Let's just say that I've been to a place where I've learned that everyone is connected, but that you and I have a connection that goes beyond this world. And I learned things, and I want to speak to you tomorrow." And it was just the most exciting moment of my life, because although I've had messages from deceased loved ones and saints and angels and all that, that was never validated. It was something that I interpreted as a message. So when I found a prayer card from St. Jude and I was praying to him, that to me was a sign, or downloads that I would get. But that could never be verified. But this communication was verified because he came back. And he said, "I know you were there. I heard your prayers," and that was just so beautiful, because him not being that spiritual person that read all of these books and watched movies about this stuff, he had no foreknowledge about spirituality. That's why his experience is so beautiful, is because it wasn't that he conjured it up in his head based on awareness and knowledge of the past. It was all real. So when he would relay his experience, I was like, I know what you're talking about. I've heard other near-death experiences discuss this.
So let me ask you, Kathie, when you were praying,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I'm a big fan of prayer. And I always say, when I pray, I don't play, because I expect it, because he's an awesome God.
Yeah.
God can do these things. I'm like, when I pray, I'm like, bam, it's done. Bam. People are like, I feel it. I'm like, you should. Because that's how, that's how God works. So
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that. And I also know that speaking to other near-death experiencers, one of the things that's been reported is they can hear people praying for them. I've actually come up with a couple of my readings, say, "Thank you for praying for me. I was in a bad place." Not really hell, not really purgatory.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't the situation here. It was with someone, they weren't great in life. And so they needed that little nudge to say, it's okay, go on. It was another love story, another time. But that fact that he heard you. Now, you weren't able to be in the hospital with him, so you were praying from your home?
Yeah. And the
Same
fact that
time?
I said that, and he said, "Thank you for visiting me when I was out," that's how I knew that he understood it. It was amazing.
Wow. Yeah, it is. And so now I want to get the impression. So when you're praying, it's the same time every day?
Yeah, I would do a couple of times, probably first thing in the morning, then last thing before bed. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I want you on my prayer team, because you can make it happen. And look, when things, doctors say, "Oh, it looks bad," and whatever, hey, God is, we have a resurrective God. I know that they're on this show all the time. It's a good God, and prayer does matter. But what's
Not
interesting,
only that, but we all are divine healers. We just don't know it. So when people become energy healers, like Steve and I have become, we learn that. But that's in all of us. We're not special. No one is special. Anyone has that ability. I mean, that's why we try to tell everyone, just channel the white light and just send it out to the earth that's so in need right now. Send it out to people, send it out to animals, send it out to plants, the earth itself, the atmosphere, the water, just everything. Everyone needs that light right now.
well, imagine this. Remember how people used to pray over food, and it would supposed to be more nutritious, or pray over your water. Boom, there's your holy water right there. It's true. We've had a ill for some time. I mean, they're like the doctor. We just took my dog to the doctor a week ago, and they're like, "We can't believe this dog is still living." And I'm like, "It's not even that old. It just has a really bad heart condition." I visualize white light around him, white light, purifying everything.
Push away the bad.
Push away all that, and I've also lined up his energy on his. It's a love vibration. And the fact that you did that, for him, and wanting to, and a desire for no reason to get anything out of it, but just to help. So when you had that conversation, Steve, I want to know, how did you recognize? And I want to show people what you look like, so they can get an idea, Mr. Tough Guy. Dude. There he is. He looks very happy. Look at that.
I never saw that picture. I don't know anymore.
And then this is you in the hospital. You lost a little weight, but you look still considering healthy.
Yeah.
Here you are.
I was in rehab. Yep.
And you look at this. My God, tell us what we're looking at. This is horrible.
Yeah, this is actually the one on the left, and the two on the left are of my back. What the one in the center is like, if you're looking behind me, and those two rods are stabilizing my back, and those round things are screws. You see to the left, the other one, you see those screws sticking in. Those are actually sticking in my spine to keep that plate in place, and that's what's stabilizing my back. I think I gave you this upside, the one on the left upside down. I think.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, kind of
no,
turn it.
I learned that, as I show the picture, a doctor says, Steve, I think you got that upside down.
Okay.
That's how I learned these things. And the one on the left is actually my leg. And you see where the two of them come together, that little thing sticks out, and that rings the bell at the airport every single time. And because it's on my hip, they get really paranoid about it, because it kind of like looks like a gun.
I never thought about that. So you set off all the things that, I guess people's pacemakers would do that too. And here you are again, tough guy, and then who went through a tough time. And so there you are, recuperating for that. But overall, I just can't believe what a great attitude. That's one thing that people have commented, what a beautiful attitude that you have. And then I wanted to show people too, you're talking about Mr. Small town citizen, almost mayor. I think this is like, here you are, you're standing behind local government. So, all right, now let's go to the love story. Let's go to the good part. Okay, this is the exciting part. Women love to hear this. So, okay, so you talked to her, you recognize her, the prayers. How do you recognize her? Because you're being taught, Steve, in spirit form, how to recognize spirit. So did you recognize Kathie first as a spirit, or how did you know it was her?
Well, at first I didn't, when I came to and I was in the hospital, I didn't make the connection at first. Is that I was certain Kathie came to my room every day and prayed twice a day. I was certain. I can't tell you how certain I was. But it wasn't until after a while that I started to see similarities between those two, between her and the lady in that place. And then I started to tune into the energy, that I could see spirit, and I was seeing the spirit. I didn't have to, when I was in that other place, higher self was there. But now when I made the connection between Kathie, and I felt and I saw that energy, That's when it came to me. And so that's when I had to text her right away. I mean, I would have texted her because that she had come to visit me many times, but I was in the hospital for a long time, and people came to visit me. But it was when I made that connection, and it was that linkage between being able to see and sense spirit. And now I knew. I put the two together, and there we go.
So how did you tell her you knew it was her? Did you call her up? What did you say? How did you say this?
I texted it to her. And so, what had happened is I was tied. I was intubated. That means I had tubes in my mouth, and I was on a ventilator. It made me breathe. And so I couldn't move for a very long time. And so I had a lot of time to like work a lot of stuff out. You know, it was like several weeks I was on this. It's like 3 weeks I had to lay in the bed on this thing. And so I got myself again.
No, that's okay. You said you texted her. You couldn't.
Oh, yes.
You couldn't call her because you had to text her because you had this thing.
Yeah. And so finally I got my phone, and it wasn't my phone, but Kathy's thing was in there and all my addresses. So I got a new phone and everything. So I texted her right away, and I said, "Thank you for visiting me when I was out, if you know what I mean." And then all of a sudden, I didn't expect her to get it. And all of a sudden, I got this text back. She says, "You know?" And with a big question mark. And I said, "Yes." I said that I've been to another place, and I know that everyone's connected, but we share a connection that goes beyond.
That's wonderful.
And I need to see you right away. So come to visit me tomorrow.
Oh gosh, really? How'd that go? I want to hear that.
I have lots of stuff to tell you.
Okay. This is great. This is a Lifetime movie. This is. You really need to have this written up for that. This would be great. Just this part of it alone is amazing. There's so much there, but just your story. So when you visited him, Kathie, what was that exchange?
Well, when I visited him, there were so many people around, like doctors, his family. So we didn't really get a chance to talk, but he was not in good shape. You know, he wasn't able to focus on the spiritual part of the experience. He was really focused on the physical, just trying to walk and breathe. And, he didn't even, like, there was a point where he asked one of the nurses, "How long have you been on this earth?" Like, he was like in a clean place. He didn't eat food for a while because he didn't think he had to, because he didn't do it on the other side. So he wasn't, it took him a long time to get his brain back, if it's back, and just, it took so long. Like eventually I got a whole slew of all of the wisdom that he learned, but it took over a year. It took a lot of walks, a lot of talks. Like, I thought I would get it right away. And when he had just come to, I think it was fresh in his mind that he didn't have a chance to realize what had happened to him. So he didn't really talk about it for a while. It wasn't until he had rehabbed a little bit that things would start to come to him, and he would say these things, and they would be fascinating. But he's like, "But I don't know, it might have been the drugs." And I'm like, "No, it wasn't the drugs. It wasn't. I mean, this is what people have spoken about for millennia."
Right.
Because I had read about those things, and he's like, "No, why would this happen? And maybe why would God choose me to have this beautiful experience?" And I was like, "Because you were a beautiful person, and you could give a message, and you could tell the story so eloquently in a way that people could understand." So he was just so not buying it. He thought I was like,
she was nuts.
He thought I was nuts.
Oh my gosh.
It took so much time and energy to get him to come around and realize that, yes, everything you experienced was real. Everything was divine. And it was a story that needed to be told.
Wow. So when you went into the hospital room, was it like old friends? How well did you know each other before this?
Well, we would be friends for like 16 years. I mean, he was the Mr. Mom in town. He had his kids with him all the time. He was at the PTA meetings. He took videos of all the sporting events, like, and he was very special to my Girl Scout troop, because every time we needed a badge, he had a connection. So I'd be like, Steve, we need a badge. Get us a tour of the local government, get us a tour of the Heritage Museum, get us a tour of the music department. So we became close like that. And although he wasn't a spiritual person per se, he was a very deep, caring, loving person, and a very respectable person. So we became friends on a good level, but it was a very, very professional level. He never hit on me. He never was inappropriate or looked down my blouse. So it made me so comfortable to have him as a male friend. You know what I mean? Because sometimes friends get a little funky. So he was someone that I could have. I thought I would have him as a friend for life.
Oh, well, it looks like you have that and more.
Like
I noticed that right away about Steve, that he has a lot of integrity.
Yes.
And I like the fact that
I'm a hypocrite.
Oh, please. And I like the way that Steve, you are in this with us, so I will address you, but that you are so candid and so honest. And I think it's refreshing. I think that's why they take to you, because you're not all perfect. Like, you don't know what you're going to say exactly, but you're endearing, you care, you're genuine.
Yeah.
And that's what really comes through. And God really knew what he was doing to use you, because you're a real natural at this, because people have really taken to your story. They absolutely love it. And they do. I mean, look, Adriana, she's one of our channel members, wonderful lady.
Hi, Adriana.
And you have touched her so much. And I have to agree. That's why I want to get you out there more, because it's a beautiful story. And there's so much between both of you. So, yeah, I mean, it really does help to start out as good friends and a respect, because then you really build a foundation. So you knew about him, and then you talked. So it was basically friends. When did it start to get, I'm sorry, I'm a girl, I got to ask this. I'm so excited you're together. I'm just so excited. I wanted to, at what point how did that happen that you became a couple? I mean, did you go, hey, how's it going? I mean, is that more difficult when you've known someone for a while? I don't know.
So. Yeah.
Because how do you switch that? I mean, so was it natural? I mean, did Steve do it? Did you do it? What happened?
I think it just happened. I had gotten divorced, and then we spent a lot of time talking, and never intended to take it to that level, because there's always a fear if you have somebody as a friend that dear to you and you take it to that level. What if it doesn't work out? Then the friendship goes away. So it was like catch-22 in that situation. So it was a very trepidatious process. But
I want to say something.
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay.
Oh God. Shut him off.
All right. So what was going on is that Kathie was helping me to get better. She was definitely, she was helping me. We were starting to hike together, and we're starting to talk a lot more. And she was really helping me to really, we were talking more. I was giving little tidbits about the place between here and there, but there were so many struggles along the way. It really was. We were just, it was just so concentrated. Like Kathie had talked to me about eating. I couldn't eat after I came out of the place between here and there, because I felt everything had an energy, and I felt like I couldn't consume anything. I couldn't bring myself to it. I felt like I was destroying energy. It took me a long time to begin to make that adjustment. But then there were times I would start to see very subtle things in Kathie, because we became such good friends. But then all of a sudden, I remember she had this way of the sun. She has these golden eyes, and the sun hits them, and they just sparkle. I know it's very unspiritual to think of those things, but I would find myself all of a sudden, I had trouble looking at her, because her eyes just sparkled to me when I looked at her. And I just,
The
I found-
sparkly eyes. That's what happened.
no.
Your dark sparkly eyes.
but I just felt that it was something that grew over time. It was a subtle
Okay.
thing.
All
But
right.
I guess the real point of it was the heart on the beach. Is that we were walking on the beach, and I was starting to have signs like she had said things. I mean, nothing overt, but little things to make me believe that. I kept on dismissing them. I kept on saying, no. I mean, maybe Kathie likes me in a different way, but no, I kept on dismissing all these little signs that I saw from her. I know it sounds very uncharacteristic of Steve to dismiss things, but dismiss the obvious.
So
But,
you were noticing little things.
Yeah, she was giving little signs that perhaps, and then all of a sudden there was this heart made out of shells on the beach, and part of the heart was missing, like the shells weren't there. And so Kathie got down on her hands and knees and started putting this heart back together with the shells. And I was looking at that, and I was thinking to myself, is this a metaphor? Like, what the hell is going on here? Is she mending a broken heart? I mean, like, what is she doing?
Oh, what
And
were
then
you
she
doing? What were
and
you
then she got up, and then
Okay.
she looked at the heart, and then looked at me, and she said, she said, it's fixed. The heart. And I looked at her,
Ooh, you filled her heart.
and I just
Okay.
leaned over and I kissed her. I didn't know, and I expected her just to wail out and slap me. I really did. I just had to know. I just had to know right that second. And what happened, Kat?
I didn't hit you.
You did not hit him.
I didn't.
So you
and
did?
so and so
You
and,
did.
and
You did.
so yeah, and that was kind of like the first point. That was the real crossing point.
Okay.
It came to the point, like, our relationship just started building over time, over all these signs and synchronicities that you begin to experience with someone. Eventually you start to, how could this person not be in my life? Like how could that? I don't know. Like,
And
she was there.
There again, remember?
There.
A couple of months later, we went back to that spot where the heart was made, and there was 24 roses, one yellow, one white, and they were just stuck in the sand. And I thought he did it. And I said, Steve, did you do that? He said, no. I said, what do you mean? How does that happen? It was like 3 miles away from a parking lot. Someone carried 24 roses, like,
Well,
on the beach.
there was some significance there. I don't think we've talked about. Those were yellow roses.
Yellow and white. Mhm.
Yeah, I wonder, what did that mean? Because up until that point, we only saw red roses with Nick, and I also thought that yellow roses are like a rose of friendship, and then the white roses, like, I don't know, there's something there. I don't know, there's something there we got to think about.
Think about that, right?
Yeah,
It is unusual.
that was very interesting. But those are the types of signs we those are the types of signs we get.
Yeah, that's how we decided that we should take it to the next level.
Next level.
Like the universe is saying, all right, you were there when he was there. We're sending you all these signs. You're still thinking we shouldn't take it to the next level because we don't want to ruin the friendship. The universe is like, hello, knock. Listen.
It was we thought about that after we saw the flowers, because after I kissed you the first time, we felt awkward about it for a while.
Yeah.
And we're like, did we really want to cross this boundary? And then while we were pondering that, no, that's what happened. And then while we were pondering that, that's when we saw the roses in that spot with the yellow roses, which I interpret to be friends. But I don't know what the white, maybe the white means spirit, that we're friends in spirit or something like that.
Spirit, purity. Yeah. Some people say it means death. I don't think it means death. I think it means purity.
No, I don't think it means that.
Yeah, it doesn't
All right,
mean that.
I got to calm down.
Yeah, just but here's the thing. I think that what you said makes total sense. That at this grew, then you start, and it's that way, not necessarily romantically, but with people, you go, do I want them in my life? What would happen if they weren't in my life? Would I miss a lot? And you were like, this is someone that I want to be in my life, because people come and people go, and it's okay. But there's some people you want hanging around. You're like, yeah, they are a quality person that we, enhance one another. And obviously, she could talk to you in a way. I'm not saying you're hard-headed, Steve.
I
Kathie,
am.
back me up.
Not so
But she could talk to you in a way, right? That you could say, look, and you allowed that, but because you were really, I guess it sounds like in the beginning, trying to deny your spiritual experience, which in reality, I'm sure you've gotten lots of confirmation. All this is real. And it's also very consistent, even though it's your own story, with people that have had near-death experiences. This is part of spirit, that this is part of who we are. And it's a beautiful thing. So that's how that happened.
I want to say one other thing about that. A real important thing about us, like crossing that friendship boundary, was that I thought is that what would happen if Kathie found like a romantic relationship?
Oh,
what would happen to our relationship? Because
it wouldn't go there.
Exactly. Is that you get to this point, you start to think about these things. It's like, could you not be with this person? No, those are the types of things that both Kathie and I shared. We discussed this often together during this period between the heart and the roses. There was this period of several weeks where we're going through this stage where we're like, yeah, really? No, I mean, we were just kind of like going through it. And so that was also another thing that we were considering at the time is that, maybe something like that would happen. You don't plan for those things. So why not open up the door?
Well, absolutely. And Clay put here, he's found this out. Yellow roses mean wisdom and joy, and white roses mean changes, growth, and transformation. And to me, I mean, wow. I mean, you really want to have a connection with someone, right? And that's growth and transformation for both of you. I mean, something soulful that you can be with someone, because that's the glue that really keeps it all together. But I guess it was scary because you were friends and you're like, if this goes bad, if this doesn't work out, then we're probably not going to be friends either. I mean, you'll be cordial, but so it's a good thing. But the universe was saying, come on guys. They were putting out there and it all worked out. And now you're doing workshops together. You co-wrote this book together, The Place Between Here and There. And I know that you also have a meditation in a little bit for us, Kathie, because you're the meditation guru and you can create it for anything. Steve brags about you all the time about this.
The pressure.
Anything is good. Hey, we're all cool here. Everybody's supportive. Yeah. And so it's fine. Everything will be great. People, they need just to take a time, even if you just breathe. I mean, that helps. People don't just sit and breathe some of the time. But I want to know, writing this book, what made you decide you co-write it, and how was it working together on the book? Because I don't know if anyone's ever asked you that.
No. I would say that we were starting from a dead start, and it was during this health crisis that was facing the world, and so we found ourselves at home together, and that we had been talking about perhaps writing a book about. In fact, Kathie was insisting that we write a book, and I kept on saying nobody would be interested. But after having all of these workshops, it became apparent that people were interested in, and so. These are topics we talked about all the time. And so we just started in the beginning because we had the workshop as like the structure of the book. And we sat and we worked on every chapter together and we just outlined it. But the narrative, the actual narrative, the flow, Kathie created that herself. And that's very important because it was so important to us to be able to convey the story, but not lose the magic in our relationship and the discovery of this, because really so much of it, because there's so much doubt in the world and so much FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And the idea about facing that, at least me facing that and coming to certain understandings, is that we want to be able to convey that in the book. So Kathie is responsible for that narrative to keep that flow to it, because we wanted it to be almost like a flowing river throughout the whole experience, and that there were important facts that we wanted to have in the story. But Kathie said, is as we start to introduce those facts, is that it took away from the magic. And so what we did is we took those out and put them in the questions and answers as part of it. And as part of the glossary, because at times we would break up the narrative to explain something, but instead we included a glossary, we included questions and answers. So if you do have an opportunity and you choose to read the book or listen to the audio book, is that don't neglect those questions and answers, because that they carry so much. And one of my most favorite parts of the book is Kathie's meditations, because those are also in there.
See, here he is bragging about you again.
Well, it's very important, because that we really believe, Kathie and I, in the law of attraction, that you attract that energy in which you put out. It's not a payback. It's not a payback. It's that if you treat others with dignity and love and respect and stewardship, you're going to surround yourself with people who value those things. And so what Kathie does is that she picks a topic and then something that's really important to today. And what she does is first she gets the people into the state of mind where they could be receptive. And then she goes into details about this important thing that we can generate our energy towards. And then she generates all this energy and directs it towards it. It's actually, this meditation is more than a meditation. It's actually a healing meditation for the universe, at least in my opinion.
Oh, no, it's beautiful. And I love how you work together. And I think, I mean, look, I'm being maybe a little too confident to say this. I think you're both underutilized. I want to see you guys just booming, because together you're electric. And the other thing I don't want to pass by this is that so many people, and I did mention to Steve, and God bless you, Kathie, you've been busy with your sick father. So we need to pray for Kathie's daddy. He's not doing so well. He's, up in age and so forth and not doing so well. You've had to attend to him. But I did mention to Steve about, there are so many couples that, since they've had to be, or families, could be anybody, but have been in close environment because of the pandemic, that I've noticed is just talking to people that I can think of 2 or 3 people that might have gotten along really well in their relationship and their family and their kids, but now they want to kill each other, and all of a sudden they don't get along. And it's not because the topic that came up that made them at odds. It's just that they've gotten out of sync energetically. And so, and that's one of the things I wanted you both to touch on is, yes, there's a connection, it's beautiful and it's sacred. And I think when you do have something that's sacred and a beautiful relationship, whether it's with your children or a friend or your partner in life, whoever that is, you want to, I mean, we're not perfect. Things can get off the rails, but you want to make sure that if it's something that you really cherish and keep, that you ensure that and find a way to rebuild that communication and get that back in. And so, and it's work. So I was hoping that with this meditation, and maybe if you had any advice far as wisdom, being a couple. And I love the fact that you started out as friends. I mean, Clay and I started out as friends. We were friends for a long time. We're still friends, and some people think, oh, you're just friends the way you talk. No, we're a couple. But the thing is, but it's important to have that. Your best friend should be the person you're with, like your partner really should be. So that's the way it's supposed to be. So tell the people that have had difficulty, if there's any points of wisdom, and then I'll let you go into the meditation. And then toward the end, I just want to wrap up where people can find your book, as well as, I know, and I don't want to forget in case we get kind of like high on your meditation. You're working on another book, and tell us real quick about this new book you're working on. Because again, I may just be like, so relaxed, I forget. So while I'm thinking about it, you're working on a new one.
So the name of the new book is called Lessons Learned Between Here and There.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're doing is we're exploring the practical the lessons that learned in the place between here and there, but how to apply them to your life, and how they're meaning, and how they can perhaps, in my opinion, can bring you bliss in this life and any one that may come afterwards. It's a way of looking at life, and just a way of coming to terms with things and finding peace in things. The theme of our book is life is good and people are good, even when very sad things happen. And if you can make this, if you could come to that understanding, not if you can memorize it or say, this is my mantra, I'm going to believe it, but if you could really come to the understanding on why that is truly so, you will find that bliss. And this is just our first step, is just to begin to examine, take a little deeper look at the lessons learned in that place. And so we expect that be out probably in April, but there's no time, because so many times as we begin to explore these topics, we start to go into places.
Well, I understand. This is, well, what you're doing together. To me, it's a beautiful example of divine orchestration. This is not a mistake. None of this is. And we are all connected. And if we could just appreciate and have gratitude for that. I mean, I'm very grateful that I met you two. I think you're both really special.
We
If
love
I
you.
didn't, I wouldn't do 3 shows with you.
We love you. Thank you.
I would say the other 2
You're
didn't turn out. No, really, you're awesome. I have to make a joke here. I'm trying to lighten things up, but you're awesome. You really are. And let's go ahead and give any words of wisdom to people that have had difficulty, because I don't want, everybody to think that, that it's chocolates and roses with you guys all the time. And what are some things that you might want to pass along? And then I'll let you take it from here to go into the meditation. If it goes toward the end, if we go a little bit over, I'll say goodbye. Buy the book on Amazon. Let me promote you heavily now, because we may get so high on what Kathie's going to do that I said, there ain't no high like the Most High.
let me just say one quick thing, and then I'd like Kathie just to take over and just share her thoughts, and then go into a meditation, if that's okay.
Okay, can I show your book real quick? There's your book.
Yeah,
that's your book. Get the book. Okay, all right, go ahead.
One words that my mom told me a long time ago that I do carry with obviously my late relationship with Kathie, but I just mean in also everybody, is that in your one relationship, in your one-on-one personal intimate relationship, it's not the diamonds and jewelries that are going to make your relationship. Those things, okay, they were good. Everyone values that, but those are just once in a while things. And so many times it takes no effort for someone to be able to afford that. A lot of times the real things are the everyday courtesies. It's how you treat each other. It's how you act towards each other. It's not about the big cars or anything else. It's really about your everyday. It's your everyday that makes your relationship. And I think that's
okay. So now that you've mentioned that, so what is it, your everyday thing? Since you brought it up, Steve, I'm going to put you on the spot. And we go a little bit over. We're cool. I understand it's everybody's Friday night, but this is our fun Friday night. It's like, whoop, let our hair down. Okay. So what is it every day that you enjoy and appreciate about Kathie?
I would say, first off, the most things I enjoy, it's going to be a little bit cop out, but it's her energy. Is that we share this energy from this other place. And there's this connection. I don't have to see her walk in a room. Even now, I know what she's thinking. And you're in big trouble, by the way. I know what she's thinking. And so, but it's more than that. That is because we do have this very special bond. I can't get it. I can't get around it. So that's number one. What I love. But there's so many things about her, not to mention is that we have so many common interests. And that's really important is that, and we developed these interests together. We had interests before our relationship and we brought them in. Some of our interests work and some of them don't in our new relationship. But then we also formed new interests in our relationship. And so, and so, yes, of course, yeah, we have many interests that we shared before this, but we've developed new interests. And so,
That's beautiful. Yeah.
and so the fact that Kathie is willing to embrace new ideas and do new things, although it may not be her first nature, is that no matter what, she'll always stand tall and proud and strong and with a whole lot of love.
Oh, that's beautiful. And that's a good point. And Charlie, I want to shout out to him. He's from Ireland. And it's a late night. What is it? It's a late night for him, but he's here. So welcome, Charlie. So he has been a hypnotherapist from Ireland that's watching, has been excited about tonight and was going to be sure that he was here. So that is true. You do develop interest and so forth. You know, you were talking about the energy, but the fact even underneath that, which is, you know, maybe I heard this wrong, but it sounded like that it just feels good she's got your back.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. I never have to peek over my shoulder.
Yeah. These are really good things, because I was saying, what is it that keeps, you know, the grounding in a relationship when things go off the rails? This is good stuff.
No, what else is important? And this is something that a standard that I have to rise to. You know, it's not something that I don't think anyone can master in a lifetime, especially with Kathie. But to identify those things about your partner which are annoying to them, those things that you may not agree with. No, really, those things that you may or not agree with that are easy for you to satisfy. You know, sometimes people have unreasonable idiosyncrasies, things that you know.
I do.
And it's easy for you as their partner to make them happy. Identify those things. Do those things. They make the world a difference. And that's something I have to aspire to more often.
Oh, that's really true. So Kathie, do you want to chime in on this anyway? I don't care what you have to say. I think these are healthy. These are like real world things that anyone can identify with, and also creating new activities together, especially when you grow apart. You got to kind of work on some new stuff. So any other suggestions for couples and things that there are things that you like, just everyday things about Steve?
Well, I could say that like our story suggests, we do have this incredible bond. But when you have a deep spiritual connection with somebody, it's not always easy, because you're looking at the relationship very discriminately, because you're not just looking at the physical part of the relationship, you're looking at the multiple layers of spirit. So it could be a critical relationship, because you're just so in tune to like what the world is about. So there are times that we have little spats, and I feel like when we can't mend them, the best thing that I could do, and I find that this works a lot of times, and Steve doesn't even know this, but I will like meditate on him and send love to him, and then he would inevitably call me and say, "Sorry, baby," or like, you know. Because we're connected energetically, and everyone's connected energetically. So I think that you can't discount that. So sending love and light to somebody, especially like imagining heart connections. And also, you know, it's good to have the relationship and to do things together, but you also need time apart. You need to, you know, take a walk by yourself, or meditate by yourself, read by yourself. Like you can't be like, that's what the problem was during COVID, is everyone's in the house together in each other's spaces. And when that happens, you got to find your little niche in the house so you could just make your own sacred space. Breathe. Like you said, breathing is so important. Breathe in love, breathe out love, breathe in patience, breathe out patience. Like say, I am love. I am patient. I am what everyone needs from me. I am worthy. I am what I need from me. You know, just try to look at yourself as more than just a physical person living in this physical world with all these physical problems. You know, expand your consciousness in a way that you could share that energy that you have with other people, and it could give you more patience with those that you live with.
Well, I'm reflecting on what you're saying, and I think this is really helpful. Write in the chat, guys, if you think this is helpful. I always laugh and feel like that I bring the entertainment to Clay, but I'm difficult. I forget things. I don't eat it. It makes him angry because I don't eat. He goes, "You need to eat." But what I think what I get from him is he's like a calm brook. He's very easy. And I'm like a firecracker, I'm like boom, 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 and but he's calm, and I feel like it's gonna, everything's gonna be fine. And he's like, "Here's some food. Do I need to cook you food?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm fine." He goes, "Okay, I'm cooking you food. You need to eat something."
Yeah.
So, and that's back to what Steve was saying, is find out what you're missing. Where you're, what is it that you're missing? So, and what we bring, if we're really honest, what we bring to a relationship, it's not always what we think.
And another thing too, I think is important is when you have a disagreement with somebody, you're making a conscious decision to be unhappy. So the longer you hold it out, you have the ability at any minute to just let it go.
Absolutely.
You don't need to hold on to that. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help them. It doesn't help anyone in your life. So just sometimes we just need to let things go.
I have to echo that. I've been married 30-some blah, blah, blah years, and we're just going to blur that. Not that I'm not proud of it. I'm just leery about saying my age. And so, or I could lie like my grandmother did. And so I could always do that, but I'm not going to do that. But the thing is, I think that the biggest thing that I've noticed, that I thought everybody did this, is when we have a disagreement, Clay and I, hey, we may, hey, whatever. It's usually not about us. It's usually other people or things, and we'll hammer it out. Once we're done, whether it's in that moment or maybe the next day it goes on, we're done. We never talk about it again. We never bring it up. Neither one of us, we've never brought anything ever up from the past. Like, remember that time? Like, I wouldn't remember. I can't have a bad memory. Like, I can remember spirit world, but I can't remember the things, but we don't. We've never done that. We don't remember that time. And you said that, like, we've never done that. And I think that's part of living in the present.
Yeah.
That you live in the now, not what happened when whatever. And I think that's important with anyone that you have a relationship with, that you leave those things behind, you handle it and move forward. So tell us about this meditation that you want to do for us.
Okay, well, I'll tell you an interesting tidbit about our relationship in this meditation is Steve just calls me up and says, "Oh, we have a podcast, and by the way, you're doing a live meditation on relationships." What?
She's up to it.
Yeah, you said she could do it. He actually voted you in for this. So,
well, because I knew you could.
And then he said, well, it's not in my wheelhouse per se, because the meditations I've done is connecting to deceased loved ones, connecting to your higher self, sending light energies out to Mother Earth and its inhabitants, saving the children. So like the relationship thing, what could I even say? Like, that this hasn't been downloaded. All those other meditations were downloaded to me when I was running. There's like this relationship between like the sacral chakra with exercise and acquiring info. I said, I have to think about this. And he goes, oh, and the other thing is, it's good if you don't read it from a paper, if you could just remember it. I was like, wait, who said that?
I didn't say that. He said that.
He said that. And he said, because that's what an actress would do and just be like an actress. I'm like, do you know why I don't have a hit song on YouTube, Steve? I can't sing. And the other reason why I'm not an actress is because I can't remember. So I wrote it down on paper.
I think they'll enjoy it just the same, babe.
Look, it doesn't matter. Whatever works. We're like, I'm just appreciative you're both here and that you're game for this. And we're just trying to help humanity. And these little tidbits that we said, they're little, but they're important. And I think that was helpful. So thank you. I kind of put you on the spot. I didn't mean to, but
no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just, because the program is about relationship and issues. I said this was an issue when he just said, by the way,
but I know
for the
It's
opportunity to grow.
It's beautiful meditation.
And I'm
You really
growing.
did a wonderful job, honey. You really did.
Thank you.
And I'm glad. And I was just joking.
And before I do it, I don't know if anyone wants to go online. There's a beautiful Hawaiian love healing meditation called Ho'oponopono. Do you know that?
Nope.
Okay, it's this mantra where you look into your beloved eyes and you say, "I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you." And it's beautiful, and it's online. So if you go on your browser and just put HO', it'll come up. It's called
H-O'.
HO'.
Can you write it in the chat? In the comment, can you do that, Steve, for us? Or if you're, because you know what it is, and people have it there.
Yeah, and one thing is that Kathie and I, we went to a workshop where we had to look each other in the eyes and say that to each other, and really deeply look into each other's eyes and say that to each other. Some people, it's very difficult for them to say that. It really is.
Oh, well,
And,
I need
and
to
you
say
should
it a few
practice
times.
Maybe
every day. It might need to say it every day.
But I did suggest, Kathie, perhaps I suggested like about 20 minutes before our discussion tonight with you that she insert that into her meditation, but she declined.
I did.
No, but that is good to look at one another and you say, "I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me."
Because it takes two. Like you might think that the other person is the one that's all wrong, but it takes two people to come into an argument. And so by each saying that to each other, whether you believe you are in the wrong or not, it feels good. It just gets that weight off of your chest.
Energy flows both ways, regardless of the circumstances. It seeks balance. If you don't create that balance, it's going to find it. You may not like the balance it finds.
Yeah, no. We don't want to do that. We don't want any infirmities. No. Cancel that. All right. So do we close our eyes during this meditation?
I'm going to put on my eyes so I could see my paper, since I didn't memorize this. Okay. So let me just explain that this is a meditation to reconnect to your spouse, partner, significant other, or soulmate with healing rays of love. Although we have love for the person with whom we share life, there are times, especially during the recent global hardships, that we lose that heart connection. This is normal, forgivable, and correctable. So do not feel that the situation cannot change for the better. So please find a comfortable position, either seated or lying down, and allow yourself to just let go for a few moments. Any thoughts and actions can wait for this brief period of time so that you can take care of you and the person that matters to you most. We call on the highest angels of love in heaven to assist us as we reconnect you to your partner. We call on your partner's highest self to allow this love healing to take place. Begin to take long, deep breaths, but instead of breathing into your mouth or your throat, imagine your in-breath is taking unconditional love from the universe in through your crown chakra and right into your heart. You can visualize this energy as pink or red. And with each in-breath, imagine it expands and fills your entire heart center. Breathe in the energy and fill up your heart with love. As you take in this beautiful energy, feel it healing the areas of your heart which hurt. As a divine child of God, you have a right to feel love in every moment of your life. So pull in all the love you can and truly feel that your heart is so full of the most amazing love you have ever felt. If you like, you can use a mantra as you're pulling love down to your crown and into your heart center. Breathe in, I am love, and breathe out, I am love. Breathe in, I deserve love, and breathe out, I deserve love. Breathe in, I give love. And breathe out, I give love. And breathe in, I receive love. And breathe out, I receive love. Love is the most important and powerful thing in this world. Feel that power of love that you've collected into your heart. Now envision your partner standing before you. Look them in the eyes and remember the good qualities they possess and all the great memories you have had. With a smile on your face, imagine sending the love you collected in your heart across a bridge which connects your heart to their heart. This can be any bridge you like, a wooden bridge, a stone bridge, an energy bridge, or even a rainbow. And visualize the love energy traveling across the bridge. See the energy as pink healing light or even red hearts. As you breathe in, expand your heart love. And as you breathe out, see that love going from your heart to your partner's heart. This is a powerful heart link that allows energy to travel from you to your partner. Visualize your partner's heart filling up completely with the love that you are sending. You have enough love for both of you because love is a limitless power from heaven. So feel the compassion, kindness, and gentle love returning to both of you. And see your partner smile as they accept the glorious love healing rays from your heart. Take a few steps towards your partner and look into their eyes. Look deep and see that love. It has always been there, but it is even more powerful now. Hug your partner and remain in a comforting embrace. Begin to breathe as one with your partner, with your heart centers connected and sharing tremendous love. Visualize the love energy building around you as you breathe in together and out together. You're surrounded in pink loving light. We now ask your higher selves to bless this sacred and divine love and to allow it to remain in your hearts, no matter what difficulties life throws your way. We ask the angels from heaven to also bless this love and to gently remind you of its truth and its power when earth life gets you down. Know that you deserve this love. You need this love. Your partner needs this love. And love is the ultimate intelligence in life. It is time to say goodbye to your partner. Look them in the eyes and say, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And thank you. And thank your higher self, your partner's higher self, and the angels for joining us today and helping with your reconnection. Take a deep breath and come back to your physical body. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and get some circulation back. And remember, as you go about your day, do some breathing exercises. Breathe in, I am love. Breathe out, I am love. Breathe in, I deserve love. And breathe out, I deserve love. Breathe in, I give love. And breathe out, I give love. And breathe in, I receive love. And breathe out, I receive love. And when you encounter your partner, now that the meditation is over, remember the sacred blessing you've got from the angels in heaven and feel that love in your heart and share it. Blessings. Namaste.
Oh, namaste. That was beautiful. Wow, Steve, you're right. Kathy's really good at this.
Thank you.
Oh, I've had a few people done meditations, but you really do a wonderful job. It was beautiful. Absolutely.
And that was without music, that nice ethereal music in the background. Perhaps we could put that together and put it on our YouTube channel.
Absolutely. This is beautiful. Imagine all this if we could do this for everything.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We all have to send out love, send it light, love, just send it everywhere. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I just feel so much better. So wow, that was beautiful. That was so beautiful. And I actually felt, I don't know if Clay was doing it, but I feel like he was because I could feel that. I have to ask him later. But I did feel that love and that he was doing that too. It was, and you know, your higher self, even if somebody's off doing whatever, their higher self knows.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. That's why we call on their higher self. Yeah.
Right. And I love the way you did that. Well, that is amazing.
I know what you did, Kathie. I know what you did.
Yeah, that was so good. That was just beautiful.
Oh, you're beautiful, baby. I love you.
Yeah, that was absolutely beautiful. And connecting to our higher self of why we're with someone. I mean, isn't that life gets in the way sometimes and we forget. And the fact is, if we were to lose that person, we would remember very quickly all the love they have brought us.
Yeah, of course.
And so we have Kathie's other meditations on our YouTube channel. Everyone's free to go. They're free of charge. And I think we have 5 up there now. And this is we'll post this in a few days, probably in a week or so. We'll post this one up there as well. Absolutely. And we're going to mention your podcast in it too.
That's so sweet. Thank you. We got to do some more of this. This is fantastic because this is going to help really heal the world. But I do think that there's a whole area. I mean, there's so many things you both can do, but there's a whole area with relationships. It's kind of like nobody wants to talk about it. That don't require necessarily big things, just nice, gentle handlings. And even with the meditation or these beautiful words of wisdom, I think you're very equipped to do this to help people that maybe have gotten off the rails. I don't know if you've ever thought about this before, but intuitively, I'm not saying it's the only thing. Okay. I'm not saying that. I'm saying intuitively, I'm getting this very strong because you're a beautiful example of, really respecting one another as people and growing together. And I thank you. And I really appreciate it very much. And we're going to do this again because people want, they want more of you, Steve. I've been hearing, and now they know you, Kathie. I'm sure they're going to want. This is an amazing meditation. They're going to want that. So thank you both so much. Have a beautiful evening, and prayers for your dad.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Namaste, and much love to you both. All right.
Bye.
Take care. Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. And I will see you all next Thursday. Well, no, Thursday's next week, right? Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We should say
happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. I'm off next week. Anybody
give and receive thanks. Give and receive thanks.
Absolutely. And I'm off next week for once. I need a break. We'll see you the next week. And thank everybody. Much love. Bye. And namaste. Thank you guys. You're awesome.
Thank
love
you.
And light.
Much love. Take care, guys.